Hello, this is Nick with Tumolo Financial, back with another monthly Tumolo Talk. And today, kind of want to talk about the future, talk about some generational wealth. Are you building wealth that outlives you? So let's get started. Let's start talking about how to protect and kind of looking even some tax ramifications down the road too. So one thing that you want to make sure to kind of look at is protecting your assets. So what I mean by this is, especially in Connecticut, basically everything's fair game. And I know when the first spouse goes in, there's some protection, and then the second spouse, there's very little protected in the state of Connecticut. So giving you a few ideas so you start thinking about it, thinking about the future, so that when you're doing this long-term planning, you make sure to get the advantages for yourself and your family moving forward. So few areas to protect assets. So gifting is one of them. Um, Gifting is the cheapest way because you don't have to hire someone to do it. You can gift up to 38,000 in 2026 per person per year. You can gift to your friend, you can gift to your in-laws, you can gift to your brother and sister, you can gift to your kids. Gifting does have a 5-year look back. So you do want to start that a little earlier rather than starting it at 95, and you might be knocking on the door going into the nursing home at that point. So you want to do it before then because, like I said, they can go after it once you start going nursing home. Nursing homes on average in 2026 cost about 15,000 a month in the state of Connecticut. So gifting is one quick way of doing it. For a single, you can gift up to 19,000 per person per year as well. I should bring up. Another thing too is trust. So there's two different types of trust. There's living or revocable, and then irrevocable. So living and revocable do not protect from nursing homes. So nursing homes, if you run out of your assets, they can go after a revocable or a living trust. Irrevocable, they cannot. So irrevocable has the same rules as gifting. There is a 5-year look back. You can put money in slowly over time into a trust. Each piece has its own 5-year clock. So that's another way of protecting assets. Another way to protect assets too is long-term care insurance. Basically, you pay insurance company, you pay a monthly, quarterly, yearly, one-time payment. They do it a few different ways now, and then they give you a set payment that they'll pay you for 2, 3, 4, 5+ years, depending on the company, depending on the contract that you sign. And they'll pay a set amount, and it might help supplement some of that long-term care insurance or close to most of it, depending on how much you put into it. So that's another way of protecting assets. And the last way is self-funding it. It's basically just saying that not doing a plan or saying, it makes a little bit more sense to not do a few of these things. Let's just go the self-funding route. I have done that in the past with some people, especially when people have a very high pension and Social Security and they don't have too much that we need to supplement. Then it didn't make sense for that person where we didn't use insurance and trust. So in different sort of sense, I have some people that use gifting, some use trust. I have some people who use long-term care. So what works best for you? Another thing to think about, so that first piece that we were talking about was protecting money from nursing home, making sure that you can't or they can't go grab it from you, and making sure it's protected for the kids down the road. But another thing to think about as well is the tax piece of it. They changed these rules a little while back. I think it was 2020, so about 6 years ago, where non-spousal beneficiaries, so your kids, think about, they're going to get taxed on your IRA. Everything they have to take out, it's squeezed. They have to take out within a 10-year period. So everything gets taxed at their full tax rate. So you really do want to make sure you're doing the right thing for them as well, because do you want Uncle Sam to get more money, or do you want to keep more money in your kids' pockets? So doing some tax planning year over year in retirement, when your tax bracket usually does drop. I say usually because sometimes it doesn't, but usually does drop when you go from working your full-time job to going on to Social Security and getting full retirement. Sometimes you can do some tax strategies to help your tax brackets and then help the kids down the road too. Because what they did in 2020 was, it used to be they can pull that money out through their full lifetime. Now they squeezed it within 10 years now. So you really want to pay attention to that. Roth accounts do still pass tax-free to kids, or non-spousal beneficiaries and spousal beneficiaries, I should say. The Roth, why bring up the 10-year rule for that? The money just has to be out of the Roth by the end of the 10th year. So December 31st of the 10th year, all the money has to be out of there. The IRS doesn't care about a minimum because the Roth, they don't get tax money from it. But there is a minimum distribution as well on these 10-year rules now for tax deferred accounts. So you just really want to make sure you're doing the best thing for you. on in these situations because I've built out some plans that we start doing some conversions and it makes sense because uh, the tax savings there. I've had some people that they're in super high tax brackets and their kids they're they're doing good at jobs. They have decent jobs, but they're not making a, a huge amount of money that we have to worry about the taxes as much. Sometimes it does make sense to just pass it tax deferred to them too, and they'll pay some of the taxes. So really what you want to do, start thinking about this, start thinking about what's the best plan for you. What are you looking for your plan? Do you have a lot of money in those 401ks and you're like, I really need to start protecting it? Or another thing too is, okay, I am getting into my 70s. Should I start looking at building out trust or gifting so that down the road the nursing home doesn't get everything and my family does get some of this money? So how we can help, you can schedule your complimentary Tumolo financial retirement checkup today. Our phone number is on the screen. You can click the link below as well. And we do these Tumolo Talks monthly. So see you then.